Well, good afternoon. It's Jimmy from Stuart Arts, and I just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and thought I'd provide a few updates here from Stuart Arts and some of the things that are going on. I've had a number of things to do and distractions over the last several days. I've not had a lot of opportunity to work on the Mystery Automaton, but I have gotten back to it over the last couple of days, and I'm just going to share a little bit of how that's going. But before we get to that, I thought I'd just comment on a couple of other things that are going on. First of all, I previously did a video on my Kalamazoo belt sander, and I put that out there. It's a very positive review on a tool that I really like, and the Kalamazoo folks saw that and sent me a note thanking me for putting it out there, and then they asked if they could use it on their website, and I happily agreed to that because it's a great product. And then they sent me a box of belts, which I thought was very nice. There's about 10 belts of different grits and so forth. Looks to be very good quality stuff. So I would say thank you to the Kalamazoo folks, and I enjoyed receiving a little bit of swag here at Stuart Arts. So now I'm going to share a couple of things that are going on, and then we'll take a look at the Mystery Automaton. Well, Ted came over and gave me a nice big piece of Corrion, so I've been working with that, and I cut some of it up on the saw today, did some routing on it and sanding, and I found it to be just a wonderful material to work with. So I'll be incorporating that into the Mystery Automaton. The screw sorting project is kind of stalled. I worked on it about 5 minutes a day. I'm getting kind of sick of it, so I think I probably am going to put a halt to that particular project, and I'll take the fasteners that are left over and put them back where I found them in the development dumpster over here. It's an interesting thing. It's kind of coincidental that Ted Dillard, a friend of mine, has been coming over and looking at the build of the Mystery Automaton, and we talked about using a Victrola motor as a motive force for a future automaton. So he was at the Renegers flea market with his wife and found this one for me, and sent me an email, do you want me to get it? And I said sure, it's 20 bucks. So he bought the thing. This is a 1917 Victrola motor. And when he bought it and got it home, he discovered that the spring inside the can had failed, and so he took it upon himself to rebuild that can. Took it all apart. I went over and had a look at it. I should have taken some pictures. You can't believe the amount of work it was. There are 2 springs inside that can there, and one of the springs had broken, and so he took the whole thing apart and fixed the spring and then put it all back together and re-greased it. So I've been running it here in the shop for the last couple of days, and I think this is going to be a really nice engine for my next automaton. The spindle moves at about, of course it's a 72 RPM turntable, so a little more than once a second, and you can adjust the velocity on this thing a little bit with this mechanism right here. On the top you would turn a dial and you could actually change the speed of the motor. So I'll play with that a little bit and decide whether I really want to change the speed or whether I think the natural speed that the thing wants to run at is going to be adequate. Anyway, I'm excited about this, and I already have sort of a mental plan for what I want to do. The fingers alternate pushing a lever back and forth, and what the lever does is it moves this wrecking ball back and forth to 2 different games. And on the left side you have this little barrel game. I've got to do a little bit of tune-up on it, and the ball comes over and knocks over the barrels, and then when the ball goes to the other side, I've got a reset mechanism here. So I've got a little bit of adjustment to do on this, but it's working satisfactorily, and I think it's viable. And then on this side, the ball comes over and strikes a target, and the target in turn will, if it's struck properly, will ring this bell, which is harvested out of an old Bell telephone. You might remember that tone if you're of a certain age. I wanted to make it to where the ball does not always hit the target, so it's a little bit of a game. You have to kind of time it when you turn the crank here to get this to work. So you don't get points every single time, only when you time it correctly. So there's still quite a lot left to do. I've got to paint all the features. I'm going to be replacing a lot of the wood components with either Corrion or plexiglass or metal of some type. I've had friends recommend a couple of additional features for this thing, which I am contemplating, so I may yet add some more gizmos to this thing. Well, that's all I had to say for today. This is Jimmy from Stuart Arts wishing you a happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you have a great time with your friends and family. See you next time.